Oh, that was the right lever. I'm surprised. Good job, Kronk. Very good job.
He's learning.
He's learning. Welcome to Yzma's new podcast, the podcast where we cover everything in the Yzmaverse, obviously.
And I'm here too.
Yeah, sure, whatever, Kronk. You're here as well. Sure. I am your host, Yzma, Empress of the world, obviously. And I have 3 other people here with me and Kronk. First, we have notorious supervillain Agatha Vile, who is notorious for her crab experiments. I need to get a hold of those at one point. They might stop Kuzco.
Oh, my dear Empress, it is such a pleasure to be within your presence. I've admired you for so long.
Yeah. Of course,
I do have a couple of experiments on their way to send you some flowers and chocolates.
Wonderful, wonderful.
The balloons
Thank you,
are
dear.
a little delayed because one of them got carried away by the balloons. But
no,
I trust you'll get them. Big fan.
I will find a balloon finding potion, and we'll find that balloon, and it will be all good. Thank you, Agatha.
Oh, and then, you're so cool.
And then next we have Scott Sandler with us to discuss things. Scott.
I haven't been to the principal's office in over a decade, but I have my eggs prepared.
Good. I'm glad you do. And then we have, it appears to be Miss Spookbox 8.
Hello! So it's very nice to be in the presence of such iconic villains.
Oh, wonderful. I'm so glad that you think me and Agatha iconic.
I'm not even up to her tier. I'm not even close. I can't even
get there at some point, my dear. You'll get there at some point. And I think we already introduced him, but Kronk is also here too.
Hi.
He's kind of helping me with technology and stuff because I'm very good with chemistry and biology, but not necessarily all the technology aspects.
I know
Kronk
how you
is
feel.
A wonderful IT guy. Fun fact.
Haven't you worked a blender before? Haven't you worked a blender and maybe some radio and...
Don't interrupt her! How dare you!
Blenders and radios are far different than a computer, I will have you know.
Computers are just the worst.
All right. So today we are discussing that dreadful show, The Emperor's New School, Season 2, Episode 17. I say dreadful because it's not always about me. It's about that Kuzco that I so want to destroy.
Worst show ever, 0 out of 10. Absolutely
yes,
agree.
Thank you for
So you're saying
me, Agatha.
it's all about him. Exactly.
It is unfortunately about him and his weird little friends. Of course, the only good parts of the show are when I'm in it, obviously.
11 out of 10. Best show ever when she's on screen.
Exactly.
Your name is in the episode title this time, so that should be a good sign of things to come.
Wonderful. Yes, I know. So, Season 2, Episode 17, Kronk. Why don't you read off what the description is? It is below me to do that.
Hang on.
What is so funny, Kronk?
Just getting the description up here.
Thank you. While we wait.
Can I get you anything, Empress?
Anything but spinach puffs. Kronk has been making spinach puffs the past 12 days or so. And it's getting a little bit old, unfortunately.
That's
I'll make you anything you want.
To freshen it up.
Yes, I need something to freshen it up. Maybe like
anything you want. I'll do whatever you want.
A mint or something.
I'll get a mint. I'll get a mint. Where? Mint. Where mint?
Well, this is awkward. Kronk tells Kuzco that he should stand up for himself with Yzma, so he and Guaca come up with a plan to get rid of her.
Mint!
Oh, you got the mint. Good.
I got it, mint.
Yes, wonderful.
Oh,
Thank you, Agatha, for the mint.
of course.
And now, and yes, the first part of this episode is dedicated to this dreadful term known as Safi. Safi. I think it's very dreadful standing up for yourself when you're bullied. Why shouldn't everybody just bow down and submit to me, you know?
Absolutely. Right?
Yes. I think Safi is a very, very, very not good idea. What about you? What do you all think? This is a podcast,
You can always
after all.
reconfigure the acronym.
How can you reconfigure the acronym?
Stand United for Yzma.
Oh, yes, that is a very delightful acronym.
Yes,
Wow.
wonderful. Stand united for Yzma. It's not stand up for yourself anymore. It is stand united for Yzma. But unfortunately, this episode is about the former version of the acronym. Kuzco learns from Kronk, that lughead that I keep around.
My bad.
It's fine. I'll get into the spoilers later. But Kuzco learns the power of Safi and decides to use it in order to get rid of me. First, he steals all my potions and he makes his own crummy little laboratory out of cardboard. That
worst.
little brat.
Disgusting.
Exactly. And his little friend, a guacamole or something, is Guaca, right?
Guaca, yes.
Yes, Guaca.
I believe he has a crush on Kuzco, which...
Oh, I can tell.
Oh,
I
yes.
don't judge. I only judge because
absolutely.
it's Kuzco.
No.
He even has the rainbow underwear to prove it.
Yes. I don't judge whether or not you are gay or straight or lesbian or anything. I am an ally of the LGBTQ. In fact, maybe a little bit more so than an ally, but I will discuss that later.
Oh.
It is because he is obsessed with Kuzco of all people. Like, there are much better people to have a crush on.
Exactly.
Like Kronk. Like, Kronk is fine. Kronk is, he's substandard, but he's better than Kuzco, I'll tell you that.
A lot of people seem to have a thing for him.
Well, of course.
And I will say the Safi jingle that Kronk came up with sounded a lot like Vicky's babysitting service. If you don't want your summer to be lame and icky, pick up the phone and call me. Oh, Vicky.
Oh, of course, it's unoriginal. That tracks.
Oh,
Of course, Safi is
disgusting.
unoriginal and disgusting, of course. But I almost got Kuzco at the beginning of this episode with a dragon. I don't know how that dragon came out. I don't know what I did. I must have blacked out to get that dragon, but that dragon almost got him, and then he ate me. Oh, never
Obviously,
again.
Yzma has her own. Yzma got it from the same part of China where they actually do produce fortune cookies.
I
Yeah,
suppose so.
I assumed that you somehow got American Dragon Jake Long to just kind of like sicked him on Kuzco, and that's what was going on here.
Oh no, that
No,
involves
he's-
a lot of wibbly wobbly, timey wimey kind of things. I don't do that
Empress-
usually.
May I speak?
Yes, you have permission, Agatha.
I believe the dragon must have had good taste if he chose to eat you instead of Kuzco.
You know, that is a wonderful way to see things. I like you, Agatha. You're great.
But I believe the dragon the dragon may have been inspired by Incan mythology based on its serpent
Oh.
details. However, I am not I have not studied Incan mythology in quite some time, so I'm not
It does
sorry.
derive from our Incan myths mostly, and if not, it is very Mesoamerican in style.
Oh,
What
dear.
exactly a Mesoamerican is, I'm not sure. I don't know if I'm supposed to know that or not, but I am an evil genius. So I'm supposed to know
the
everything.
evilest geniusest of all.
You're welcome. So I almost got Kuzco with that dragon, and then I got
Also-
eaten.
I must say it was very clever how the dragon even managed to get into the theme song and then was part of the episode later on.
She's that
Yes.
powerful.
I am that
Yes.
powerful. I transcend meta, obviously. Now,
So cool.
later in the episode, of course, Kronk, the lughead, no offense, Kronk,
I'm taken.
that lughead gives Kuzco the information about Safi. And of course, Kuzco gets the wide, dumb idea of copying me right down to my dumb secret lab.
Blasphemy.
Exactly, blasphemy. And it's all cardboard and stuff. No taste whatsoever.
None
at
Not at all.
None at
Shameful.
all.
Disgraceful.
Exactly. And
Yes,
then, of
absolutely
course,
that is
nothing
coolest
good
source.
about that whatsoever. I
mm-mm.
definitely didn't think that it was kind of clever a little bit, whatever, but
Good. I'm
nothing.
glad you didn't think it was clever in the slightest. I'll keep you around when I take over the world.
Oh, why, thank you.
You're welcome. And then they steal all of my potions, which I have worked so hard on. You don't even know.
Theft. Grand theft.
Yes,
The-
Grand Theft Auto.
And
San Andreas.
they wasted your last mustache remover potion. I know a lot of people that would pay very good money for that.
Well,
They didn't
yes,
even drink the lab stealing potion, which would have been much more convenient.
they could have, but I keep that hidden away. And yes, they took my mustache remover potion, which caused me to grow a mustache. But in my time
Empress,
since, yes.
you
It's
look
not even a
beautiful.
potion.
You-
You just put a few dabs on the mustache and it
Yes, of course. Yes,
dissolves
I know.
away.
Anyway, Agatha, go on. Tell me how cool I am.
Well, you looked ravishing with the mustache. You were
Oh,
able
wonderful.
to twirl it like the perfect villain that you are.
Well, I didn't appreciate it at first, but
Of course,
ye-
yeah, absolutely.
years down the line, I've realized that yes, cisgender women do grow body hair, and that's nothing to be ashamed of. So sometimes I wear my mustaches with pride as opposed to being humiliated by it. You understand, right?
Of course. Of
Of
course.
course.
Everybody should understand it.
Yes, a lot of my good friends, they grow mustaches and they have body hair, and it's nothing to be ashamed of.
Absolutely.
Cherry has a mustache.
Oh,
Yes, very cute, wonderful. So they took my last mustache revealing potion, which I was quite miffed about, and then they filled my schedule with such terrible, awful chores like feeding children and cleaning the school.
Oh,
I may be principal, but I have other people to do that, you know.
wait, that
I
was
don't-
you?
Yes, that was me. I'm Principal Amzy, remember?
Right.
Yeah, you had a whole thing about it. It's like every episode you forget.
but your cheerleading moves, goodness gracious. I felt motivated watching you move. I could have
Well,
won
I'm-
all the touchdowns, right? That's how sports works.
yes, that's how
Yes,
the
I
sports
believe
works.
so.
Okay.
Yes, of course. Well, I'm no spring chicken, but those cheerleading moves were pretty good for me to get into. They helped stretch me out. It was actually my most favorite, least favorite activity to do, if you catch my drift.
Oh yes.
Feeding
absolutely,
children
yes.
and cleaning are my least favorite. Why would I want to feed people? They should have thought of that before they became students.
Exactly.
Exactly. And then,
Hmm.
yes, they filled my schedule with useless tasks. And then,
Oh, please take your time, my empress.
yes, of course.
Do you need me to get you more time? I can find more time. Wait, I'll go get the
The
time.
plan time, not the thing time. Oh. And then
Time is a tool you can put on the wall or wear it on your wrist. Wait, no.
yes.
Time. Where's the time?
And then they get the bright idea just to come in at night and throw my own potions at my own face while I am sleeping.
It's a disaster to see your bedroom and you're so comfortable thinking about that guy's.
I was in
chimes.
my favorite little mud mask. That is my favorite relaxing mud mask. I don't allow anybody in during that time. And yet
So
Kuzco and his little friend Guacamole or whatever just barge in and throw things at me. And at one point, Kuzco turns into some abominable snowman or something. I thought his name was Harold.
No, nothing. I just wish you were dreaming about my wind chimes. What?
Oh, yes, I was dreaming about those wind chimes.
I can make you wind chimes out of crabs.
Know what? That would honestly be better. Because Mr.
Mr.
Parutu.
Mr. Palutu. Yeah.
Parutu.
Okay. Yes, his wind chimes are fabulous. He himself is a very boring person.
I'll make you better
and,
ones.
and quite frankly racist. But yes, I can get better ones from Agatha Vile.
Wait, what was that last
crab
box?
experiment with you?
Yes. Crab experiment wind chimes indeed. Wonderful, wonderful.
That
But
does sound
they-
quite delightful.
Mhm. And they interrupted me in my sleep and turned me into a dinosaur at the very end. And they turned me into an elephant. It was awful.
But you were the most beautiful elephant and dinosaur ever.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you, dear. Thank you. And then Kronk finally manages to tell me that he was the one that gave Kuzco the bright idea.
Traitor!
But I still had to take him to that stupid llama pajama on ice show. Ugh, it was so annoying.
You still got to turn him into the volcanic rock.
Yes, I got to turn him into a volcanic rock at the very least.
You should have kept
But
it
I
as that, the traitor.
I can't keep him as volcanic rock. He's got to do other things.
Oh,
He has
right,
a
you're
life,
so
I
smart,
respect it.
Absolutely.
Yes, only
I'm-
for that show because I was mad at him.
I must say, I'm quite impressed he was still able to speak even without a movable mouth.
I granted him the ability to speak. It was a weird kind of potion. I crafted it specially for him.
Oh,
Because
yes,
I'm
that makes
smart
perfect
and
sense.
wonderful, and I can do that.
She can.
The Pajama Llama on Ice show definitely gave off those same vibes as the Reptar on Ice show.
Yes, that Reptar on Ice show. But I would very much rather see Reptar on ice than Llama Pajama on ice, whatever.
Do you want me to get
It
you
sounds
tickets?
less insipid. Yes, why don't you grab me some tickets? For
I'm gonna get tickets.
that?
I
Those
do.
tickets.
I do wonder if that was mostly inspired by the Disney on Ice shows. Were those going on at the time of this show airing?
Well, I'm not too sure. Kronk, what do you think?
Maybe, probably.
That sounds about right. I remember those insipid Disney on Ice shows. There was not a lot of me involved in them. Never, ever.
Is that show like still happening? Is that a
Well,
thing?
I
See,
believe
they do
so.
different shows every. I don't know if it
Promote
changes
the new
every year,
movies.
but
I get tickets.
Yes, because it doesn't have me in it. The new
A searching part
Encanto
as we speak.
movie with the magic house. That looks very lovely, even if it isn't evil like me.
That's
And it doesn't
looking up
involve me.
Ticketmaster right now.
Wonderful. Thank you, Agatha. Thank you. But yes, and then after he turned me into a dinosaur, Kuzco finally was like, I've had enough of your stuff, Yzma. And I had a rare moment of vulnerability with my arch nemesis.
That was
I told him that I was sick of also hurting him and doing that. And I was only doing it for my mother, my poor mother, who just wanted me to be empress. Can you imagine how hard that must be, hearing that every single day and night? It is so annoying. Oh, and it wears on my soul. And then Kuzco, out of the rare goodness of his heart, showed me the ways of Safi. And then it turned out to be a multi-level marketing scam, and so I had to ditch it. But for a time, I was embracing Safi.
It's whatever you want it to be.
Yes, Snuffy, Safi, whatever it is. It all turned out to be a multi-level marketing scam, and so I chucked that in the trash where it belonged.
Where it belongs!
well, a multi-level marketing scheme does sound quite evil, I must say.
Oh,
yes,
that's
but it's
evil.
not my kind of evil.
That's capitalism evil.
That's capitalism.
There's a difference between fun evil and capitalism evil.
Yes.
Yeah, I must say that was probably my favorite part of the episode, when you actually had that moment of vulnerability with Kuzco. It's so rare that these television shows just explore how difficult these constant battles are for the villains. And I thought that was nice to see.
Yes, it was a nice little break from the monotony. And I must say, this was my favorite of the two little parts of this episode.
Oh, mine too.
Yes, it was definitely way better than the next one. Does anybody have any other thoughts that they'd like to talk about this episode of this dreadful show?
Oh, I really did like the antics with the devil and Angel on Kronk's shoulder this time. This show plays a lot like with that concept, especially the next couple episodes, and I thought it was interesting, like having the Angel Melina like sub for
Kronk Angel.
Kronk Angel, yes, thank you, Agatha.
Of course.
Kronk Angel.
Yes,
Yes.
Kronk.
It was really nice, like, it's really nice seeing how those characters like have their own individual lives apart from just the other characters.
Yeah, it could make a whole TV show.
Although it made me wonder if Melina's the good part of her conscience was now with Kronk.
Maybe Melina was doing some evil. I might have to hit her up at some point.
Oh,
if she has any
evil. Sorry.
Any interest in doing some evil experiments with me. Of all experiments, it would be for extra credit. It's some good cool schoolwork.
I want to do
those-
experiments.
Yes, you're always like Agatha. It is an open invite for you to come into my secret lab. You're always invited into it. Yes. You make crab experiments. It's heard across the world. Of course I know about it. You're welcome anytime, just as long as you don't double cross me.
There is kind of a subtle stand really against Kuzco's flirtations with Melina, or maybe it just wasn't the right
I blacked
situation
out.
in the first
I'm
place.
okay.
But instead of his angel flirting with her, it was his devil.
Interesting. I wonder if the devil side is just always with Kuzco. It's always going to be with Kuzco because he's a little thorn in my side.
Right?
If they wanted to give Kuzco's flirtations with Melina some sort of positive lean, they would have used his angel, where his love is genuine and stuff like that. But instead they use his devil.
Yes,
Well,
because
definitely the flirting is definitely not great.
Yeah,
No, of
Melina
course
does
not.
Melina does not seem to be very into how flirtatious Kuzco is, even if there could be some feelings there. That it seems to mostly be countered by how he's just not
annoying little
right.
brat.
Yes, he's
exactly.
annoying little brat. And he was so annoying that in one of his secret plan cutaways that he stole from me too, by the way, he's just like, let's picture Melina in a bathing suit. Oh,
Disgusting, sexist, misogynistic, dirt bag of the way.
Why does anybody want him to be emperor when they
Nobody
could
wants
me?
that.
I
That's
at
so
least
much
don't
better
do
and
that.
cooler.
That is disgusting.
Honestly, yes, it doesn't really seem like anybody would really want Kuzco to be emperor that much.
No.
Yes, why do we all want him to be emperor? I mean, I obviously don't. Kronk, why do you want Kuzco to be emperor?
I don't know.
I think
of
most-
course, right.
I think most I'm not saying this is my perspective, but I'm saying that I feel like some people have this perspective that I feel like they just think that he would at least be slightly better than you. I don't agree with that.
How?
Because
I won't feed those peasants, which was their choice. They should have become peasants if they were hungry. They should have thought of that before they became peasants.
Yes, exactly. I understand that. I don't understand other people's perspectives, but
I don't
that's
get
just
it
what
either.
I don't get it.
Spoiled brat.
I'm making experiments to prevent this hunger situation from ever occurring. That way, they can never complain to you, my empress.
Oh,
and you'll be
wonderful!
free
Thank you.
To do whatever you want. Like, I don't know if you're free or what. What? Sorry.
Yes,
Next
Agatha,
episode, right?
Agatha.
What?
We should probably
Yes.
talk about the next segment.
Yes, the next segment. Kronk, give me the
Synopsis?
give me the synopsis of the next segment of episode 17.
Oh, stupid head. Okay, hang on. Kuzco has been missing from school for the last 10 days. Guaca and Melina have to find Kuzco while avoiding
Yes.
and Yzma and get to school before the final bell, or Yzma will be empress and Kuzco will be expelled.
It was a foolproof plan. I just had to keep him away from school, literally for a day. It was a benefit to everybody involved. I would become empress. He would be out of my hair. He would be out of all the teachers' hair, and everybody would get a proper education as opposed to just listening to him ramble on and on and on about himself. But no, that's Melina and their friend Guaca just decide to reach out from the goodness of their own heart and take him and try to get him in class in time. Such
a waste.
Annoying. Such a waste. He doesn't even want to be in school. So, and if he doesn't want to be in school, why should he want to be in school? Why should we keep him in school? And in fact, why should he be emperor if he doesn't want to be in school? You got to be educated if you want to be the emperor, which is why I'm the most educated and wonderful person ever, obviously.
I mean, there are a lot of
Don't question her, she's the
leaders out
best.
there.
Yes, but this is a different system. We need education in order to become the rulers and emperors and empresses. And I am the most educated, and aside from him, instead of him, I should say. I am more educated than. Yes, I went to evil college. I have a doctorate in evil, obviously. Why am I not empress?
I have a
My
bachelor's
doctor.
degree
You
in
went,
evil.
you went to evil college?
Yes.
I thought evil college with their tuition rates was just college.
No, that's no. That's not even close. It all depends on the location you're at and whatnot.
Yes, of course. Yes, evil college was free for me. I got a scholarship and grant money. It was great.
Yeah. I did too in Cleveland.
Oh, wonderful.
Faraway
Wonderful.
land.
The faraway land of Cleveland.
We have
Sounds
a mutated
lovely.
leprechaun in our lake.
Oh,
It's a long story. I won't bore you.
I will probably hear that later. But
I
anyway,
went to evil college in hell.
wow. Well, looks like I have competition
Oh,
my
no,
Pretty good
no,
location.
No, I am not anywhere near your level. I'm just like on
We're
the...
not worthy.
We are
Yes.
not worthy.
I
just...
bathe in your tears and bask in your
I'll
glory.
collect
Yes,
as much
yes.
as I can.
I'm more of a
talking
low...
about?
Look, I'm more of a low-level villain that's more into just taking over people's YouTube and Twitch channels. You know, you don't have to worry about me. I won't interfere with any of your plans.
Oh, wonderful. Maybe I can contract you out for a live stream or something to take over one of Kuzco's live streams. He's becoming a VTuber too. It's annoying. Plays Minecraft every day. Ugh, have to hear it.
No, a Minecraft YouTuber. That's even worse.
Exactly. We have to keep them off the internet. Anyway, this episode I lovingly dub as the Ferris Bueller episode of sorts because they're
Well,
they're
it's pretty
skipping
blatant
class.
about being the Ferris Bueller episode.
Oh yes, of course. Because again, there's the teacher that sounds like Ben Stein from the original. They do that overdone joke that they do in every Ferris Bueller spin-off joke parody episode that they do.
Was that actually
anyone, Kuzco, anyone,
Bueller.
You were so on that
Bueller.
day, you know?
Also, was Mr. Perutu actually voiced by Ben Stein? Because I thought
he
that
was.
voice sounded
Yes.
very similar.
Yes. Well, Mr. Perutu was Mr. Perutu, obviously, but he's known to be sounding similar to Ben Stein.
So that's very interesting. It's also an interesting thing is that for this Ferris Bueller parody, the first thing we see Kuzco do is being on a Ferris wheel.
Yes, I get it. Ha ha.
I can
that's
only
clever.
assume that I can
Clever.
only assume that was intentional on the part of the showrunners.
You know, I should have kept him at that little fair thing. He seemed like he was having a good time, and it would have kept him out of my hair. But of course, Melina and Guaca had to get him, and they had to go on some harebrained journey to get him back over, involving dummies that are the most unrealistic dummies of all time. I swear.
The worst.
The
worst.
worst.
I also noticed that the clock on the school is a sundial.
Yes, of course, because we don't have those gear clocks in ancient Incan Empire.
Do you want me to get you a clock?
Oh, no. I'm sure Kronk will get me one at some point and we'll figure it out and invent electricity. Well, we've already invented electricity. What am I talking about?
You also invented Irish dancing. It's not Irish, it's Incan.
Yes,
I
of
learned it
course.
all from
Irish
you.
dancing. Yes, the Irish have nothing on Yzma, clearly.
Of course, no, we don't. We're worthless.
Yes. But yeah, they go through some shenanigans, and I try to stop them. I even turned Melina into a chinchilla. I think that was a chinchilla, right?
Yes, it was, my queen.
Yes, I turned her into a chinchilla. I should turn more people into chinchillas. Not
They're
for
very
any reason.
fluffy.
I
She
just
did
think
look quite
chinchilla-
adorable.
I just think chinchilla is a fun word to say. Chinchilla.
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 I had a chinchilla once. I had frostbite for a week.
Boo.
Huh?
A what?
No, don't. It's a pun.
Oh,
Where?
Don't laugh. Don't give him that.
Well, that went over my head. Nothing goes over my evil head. It's too
I'll
fast.
get a shield to go over your head so that won't
Thank
ever
you.
happen again.
Thank you.
I need
But-
a shield.
Even as a chinchilla she decides to teach Kuzco the lesson that they've been missing in class, which is basket unweaving as opposed to basket weaving. Basket weaving, unweaving, I believe it was called.
Yes, it was basket weaving, which, they could have been learning something like underwater welding.
I mean, underwater basket weaving is right across the hole. It's
They
a more
could
useful
have been learning
skill.
high-speed smelting.
High-speed
Would have been
smelting. I
so
should
much
probably take advantage of that for one of my evil experiments.
I believe that high-speed smelting of metal is called welding. I'm not an expert on that. My
Welding.
roommate is.
Oh,
That's how she met
interesting.
her fiance. Long story, but I'll learn welding for you. Like, wait, I'll go take classes right now.
Yes.
Where's the plasma cutter?
Didn't you leave that at somebody's house?
No, I had to take it back because my roommate found out I stole it.
Oh, wonderful. Good.
I
But
have a
yes.
question. I have a question about, and it's about how the school is run, and you might be able to help me with this.
Yes.
10 absences seems like a little bit strict for like automatic
Well,
expulsion.
Usually.
I think it relies only for. I'm so sorry.
Yes, it's mostly for our students that are habitual ditchers. I obviously, out of the goodness of my own heart, accept sick notes and don't count it as an absence.
Well, it is.
Is
Still,
it?
it is still kind of strict because
No, it's
it
not.
goes
It's
straight to
it's
expulsion
Yzma's.
rather than
It's
suspension.
fine.
I'm sorry?
It goes straight to expulsion rather than suspension.
Yes, because it's for
Ah.
Kuzco mostly, because I know that he ditches class because he doesn't want to be there.
Because
Oh,
she's
yes,
the
that makes
best.
sense.
Any
But
other normal student would just give me a sick note, or one of my staff a sick note, and it would be taken care of. Kuzco doesn't care about that. Of course not. He doesn't care about anything except himself and how
He's
good
the
Melina
worst.
looks in a swimsuit. He is the absolute worst. I
I-
swear.
And another related question, is it 10 absences in a row or 10 absences total?
10
It's total.
absences total.
Yeah.
Okay.
In a row is a little bit excessive, but
That means you're on
And we
vacation.
Also see
I don't-
that well, we learned that he has 244 tardies.
yes, because he's constantly late to class. There is no reason for him to be not on time. I accept
we done
notes of
an-
all kinds to excuse tardies and absences, and Kuzco hasn't given me one. So
Not
of course
one.
I'm not one. So of course I'm not going to accept any tardies or absences. He's going to be straight expelled. If that's what he wants, he doesn't even want to be there. So why should he be there? And why
Why
should he
should
be
he?
emperor?
If my calculations are correct, that on an 8-period schedule, that's about 6 weeks of no classes.
6 weeks of no
Yes.
classes.
Or late to classes, I mean.
Yes, late to
6 weeks
classes,
of
and
being late
then
to every
that's like
class.
two weeks of just missing straight class in general. Yes,
Oh!
I know.
Wow.
I know.
He-
Yes.
Actually, more
He
than
is-
that. I think. Whoa.
Well, 10
Almost 10
absences.
days.
Yeah, 10
Uh,
absences is 10 days, of course.
It might
He
even be
is not
7
getting
weeks.
much out of this education.
Of course not. And yet he's gonna be emperor anyway. That
Although I'm-
is dumb.
Although I must say, there is one thing that bothered me about the number 244 is that Mr. Perutu said it was his 244st, which
He has
I
a bit of an accent. It's
That-
okay.
Well,
It's
no,
okay.
he
that
said-
didn't sound right, but
he said 244th, but in the captions it said forced. Like,
Oh, the captions.
Of
You want me to
course.
kill the person who did that? I can do that.
those
actually, yes, I would because Disney, I feel like every time I watch Disney Plus, there is something different that's wrong about the captions, and I feel like a company with
Which-
as much
which
money
is
as
a little
Disney
weird
should be
because-
able to afford correct captions. I don't know. I feel very strongly about closed captioning. I'm sorry.
is
so do
okay.
I. I have my closed captions on for everything I watch on streaming, just because I want to see how well it was done, and also
Yes,
Well,
and
I
when there's
usually have
something,
captions
there
on.
there was a captioning error on a 6th-season episode of Glee that I took note of when it was still on Amazon Prime Video. It
I
was
will say,
corrected on Disney Plus.
My Empress, your
Yes.
Ease melody
Yes.
was one of the greatest highlights of the entire episode. And you just seemed like you were having a joy.
Of course I was.
It warmed my heart and
Oh,
soul.
good.
I'm a big fan, of course.
Oh. Yes. There are times when I'm a lounge singer. I used to be a lounge singer in my youth, and I miss it. I
Oh,
have a
that's so.
Yes, of course. I had a hit song called Snuff Out the Light, and it was a blast, and I
Oh,
loved
I
it.
think I've heard that one. That is a
It,
classic.
it was such a hit that it had to be snuffed out itself.
I have that record
Yes.
illegally
It was too-
copied and framed on my wall in my evil lair.
They
Yes,
really should have
good.
put that in Kuzco's movie. I'm
know!
I'm sad that they did not.
I understand, but it had to be snuffed out because they had to think about that Kuzco.
Ugh,
It was too powerful for them. They couldn't handle a woman like me, obviously.
of course.
It's always the heroes thinking they need to be the center of everything. Like give the villains a little bit of credit, okay?
Of course,
Right?
yes.
We just want a little bit of recognition for
Just
the
a
work
little.
that we put into
Just a
this.
tiny bit, please.
I
A
thought it
crumb,
was only
if
one
you will.
episode and then they canceled the full season. I'm sorry. This is all about my Empress. Sorry.
It's okay.
It is
wonderful.
okay.
It is fine. We sometimes digress on these podcasts, if you will.
Yeah.
Of course.
But unfortunately, Chinchilla Melina teaches Kuzco basket unweaving as opposed to basket weaving, which is what they were learning about in their silly little lessons. And they get to school on time, and I am unfortunately able to expel any of them. It's awful. Ugh. The worst way to end an episode ever.
Ugh.
It never goes my way, except for the first one, where I got to at least get a little bit of my feelings out there.
But the basket unweaving really had nothing to do with the solution. Because
Yes, but it
the
has some of it to do with it.
Yeah, well, Kuzco would not be able to. The day was saved by Kuzco like popping the balloon with Guaca's quills, and he wouldn't have been able to do that if there was not a hole in the top of the basket. So
Yeah, they had to
that-
unweave that hole in the basket.
yeah,
So
okay.
there you go.
Why couldn't they just tear it?
Because plot.
He didn't.
Of
Obviously.
course,
think of
you're
that.
absolutely right. Yes. How dare I
Yes.
question you?
Because they are so stupid that they did not even think of that.
Of course. Kuzco never thinks of anything. All
Never.
his ideas come from either Melina or me or
The best
Guaca
women.
or Kronk sometimes. Even Kronk has better ideas than Kuzco. Kronk!
Even Kronk.
Even Kronk.
Yes.
Well,
Kronk experiments.
Kronk experiments.
Wrong experiments.
That reminds me,
Oh.
Kronk,
Yeah.
you still have to
It's
be
the
available
Kronk
for
where you work.
experiments soon. I have to
Okay.
test out this potion. I have to make sure it turns
Alright,
you
potion
into a bat.
testing time.
Yes, potion testing time. Yes.
If maybe you wanted to test potions with me later, I've been doing a little.
Yes, of course. We'll set up a time and we'll do some cross potion testing together,
And
Agatha.
Oh,
I'd also
it's a
noted
date
that
I mean not a date. I mean like a date. I gotta get those
I-
tickets.
Yes, Scott, you were saying.
I had also noted that Yzma showed up to Kronk's box office in a full Pajama Llama cosplay.
But apparently only nerds like Pajama Llama.
It's true, Kronk. I'm sorry, but Pajama Llama is for nerds and nerds only. If you like it, then I hate to break it to you, Kronk, then you are a nerd. Besides, those Pajama Llama.
But you clearly got into it after seeing Pajama Llama on ice.
No.
Gross.
That was a gift, and I had to wear it for the bit. That was
And
given
you
to me
look
by
beautiful
Kronk.
in that bit, and you sang so well.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And
Also,
I
my
had
second
also mentioned
record-
that
This-
there was that the whole predicament with Kuzco and Melina and Guaca in the balloon. That Sonic reboot where instead of Tails, he's first teamed up with Cream looks weird.
My Empress.
Free.
Oh.
What?
There are things that I understand and don't understand. What I don't understand is Sonic the Hedgehog. What is with that? He's a hedgehog that runs fast. He gets chased by a bald man. There's some fox with a tail that spins like a helicopter. What is this show? Why is everybody obsessed with Sonic when they could be obsessed with me?
Because he's the fastest thing alive.
Because what?
He can really move.
So can I. When
She
I'm on
the
the right
best
potion.
movements. Look at her. She invented dancing.
Yes, I invented dancing and I have potions that can make me go fast. Whoop-de-doo.
My Empress, I got notification from my experiments. Reptar on Ice hasn't been performing since 1994.
What?
I don't think
that is-
she's on make experiments that can go on ice.
No.
We can put our own
No,
Reptar on
I'm
Ice
sure it's
on.
been touring it, but they just hadn't gone to see it more. After all,
Well,
there was also the play in Euro Reptar Land.
Yes,
Oh,
that was a
yes.
good play.
I quite enjoyed that movie.
I guess it's shocking to know that I, Yzma, am a Rugrats fan and love all the Reptar shows. It's pretty interesting.
Oh, here it's the
I did not
ghost
know this
shows.
about you.
Yes,
I
now you
stand by
know
the
I am a Rugrats fan.
I stand by the belief that Tommy Tommy wanted to be a filmmaker by 10. Well, by the time he was 10, because of his love of Reptar.
Yes.
Oh,
Well-
I didn't think of it like that. That makes
Yes.
a lot of sense.
That
And
does
so
make
I-
sense.
It's how I became who I am because I grew up watching my great grandfather perform crab experiments and
Wonderful. Yes. Dr. Vile. I wish I could see him again. He and we were good friends, just friends, but we swapped some crab experiments every now
You
and
still have his
then.
tongue?
No, I don't keep
What?
tongues. Ew.
Just
I-
making sure.
I never knew you two met. That's I have so much
Yes,
to
I am
learn from you.
old. I may look young and fabulous right now, but believe me, I'm pretty old. I've been around for a while. Even though I don't look it,
For
obviously. I'm too
billions and
gorgeous.
billions of years.
I'm too gorgeous to even know. And if anybody brings up my age again, I will kill them.
Oh, you mean the age of 25?
Yes. There you go. You're smart, Agatha. It's very smart.
I'm sorry, what? I kind of blacked out a little bit. I'm fine. What?
All right. But
Are you going to be okay, Agatha?
I'm having the greatest day of my life.
Oh, wonderful. Good. I'm so glad.
I'm sure you
Agatha.
are.
All right. Did we have anything to say about this bit of the episode? The second half, the second
I like
segment?
the part where you dressed up as Pajama Llama.
Yes, Kronk, you gave that to me, and I finally wore it. I'm sure you were very happy about it. It was molding my end of the bargain.
I
It looks
also,
beautiful.
also I must say, the very end of the episode where Mr. Molguaco makes, or not Mr. Molguaco, Mr. Perutu makes Kuzco make up all of the late assignments that he's missed. I know for a fact that making up missed assignments is one of the most horrible punishments that you can be given. So,
Oh, I've
Well,
been
then I
there.
should probably give more of that to Kuzco.
well, you are the principal, so you can just give him more homework, can't you?
Yes, wonderful. It's brilliant, 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 I tell you. Genius, I say.
Okay, Kuzco's starting to scratch on the door, so we may want to wrap this up.
Oh, goodness.
Oh my
All right.
God, what?
Well, that concludes an episode of Yzma's new podcast, not the Emperor's new podcast, the Empress's new podcast. And it was a pleasure. Do my guests have anything to plug?
Although my tweets are protected because of a stalker, log story, whatever. I don't.
I'll send them deadly potions.
No.
Yes.
I am under Vile Agatha on Twitter. I'll approve you unless you're sketchy looking.
All right.
That's and also I approve of the leadership of our great Empress Yzma.
Yes, of
My full
course,
support
of
goes
course.
to her.
Bow down before your empress.
All hail.
I'm doing it. All right. Does anybody have anything else to plug?
Well, I currently am taking over the social media profiles of my rival, Miss Jukebox 8. She was on this show, or on the previous show that this replaced before, at Juke_box8 on Twitter, but we are also on YouTube as Miss Jukebox 8 and Twitch as Miss Jukebox 8, so you can see more of my evilness there if you so wish.
And then anybody else?
Well, I'm on Twitter at the Nick Fan Club. My Instagram is ScottSandler94. I've been writing for Culture Slate since April and have done about 75 articles in the last 2.5 months.
Oh, impressive. You could do an article about me.
Unfortunately, we're mostly focused on Marvel, DC, and Star Wars.
And Pajama Llama.
I know I should have gotten into Pajama Llama.
Well,
all right.
That's about,
But,
then I guess it's about...
there was an article that I wrote in late September that after only a week was one of the, I believe, top 5 articles for the entire month.
Impressive. Wonderful. Well, go follow him.
And I've got my appearances on this podcast. I've been on, I believe, 4 of the last 5 episodes of Podcast Without a Acronym. And since it's Halloween, I might as well bring up when I was on the Renegade Pop Culture podcast for about mostly the Scream reboot, but it was also had a bunch of general discussion about the franchise as a whole. Plus, my appearances on Realm of Immersion include a Scream episode there that was released in time. It was intended for last Halloween, ended up being released in January. And there are still episodes on Paranorman and Muppets Haunted Mansion in the pipeline.
Wonderful. All right. And I, Yzma, don't have any social media, but there's this girl that does that I sometimes stalk and stuff. Her name is Gabs, and you can follow her on Ghoulish at ghoulish_Gabs on all socials, on Twitter and YouTube and stuff. She has like 2 videos about theme parks or something. She's also been on episodes of Escape from Walt Disney with that Tony Goldmark fellow. And a couple of... Yes, is he your arch nemesis, Agatha?
He's my nemesis!
Well...
But if you want to be his... If you want to destroy him, you can. I don't mind.
Yes. Maybe. Well, think about it.
Okay.
And then she's been on a couple of episodes of this Emperor's New podcast. Kronk, do you have anything to plug?
No. Wait.
No?
No.
All right. Well, follow this podcast, the Emperor's New Podcast, or Yzma's New Podcast, wherever podcasts are heard, I believe. Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, I think. Spotify, yes, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. I know for a fact they're on there. And you can follow the Emperor's New Podcast on Twitter.
At Podcast TEMP.
Yes, thank you, Kronk. Thank you. Now that we have nothing else to plug, it is time to say goodbye, Kronk.
Goodbye.
Hold your lever.